once we got that formula, it was like the floodgates opened up because we were converting, the majority of the leads that were qualified coming in. And it was mainly a result of the foot in the door offer. So my name is Robert Dodd. I'm the CEO of XL Technologies. We service the real estate industry, helping real estate brokers across the United States recruit agents and help grow and scale their businesses. So basically, when we started, it was me and my business partner, and we were doing everything, literally everything. I was doing sales, and then once sales was over, it was like I put on the fulfillment hat, and then we'd start on the fulfillment side. He was doing the fulfillment side. I was doing client management. It was a complete chaos. I was fairly familiar with Jason just because, I had seen some of his stuff in the past. So when I started backtracking, Jason, I found the agency group, and I was like, oh, this sounds like the perfect, thing for us, like to kind of network with some other people who were struggling with a lot of the same things that probably we were struggling with, and some people who had already solved these problems already. And I'm a big believer in let's not reinvent the wheel here. Success leaves clues. So if someone had already figured this out already, let's just model that and find some ways to, leverage that experience so that we could make the transition a little bit smoother. We were getting a lot of valuable information from it, not just from Jason himself, but from the other people in the meeting. And it was very, it was a very open community. People were reaching out, welcoming us, and kind of like offering, help and solutions, et cetera, to some of the, things that we were discussing on the call. So, it immediately hit us that this was, going to be a really good fit for us. We were converting probably like 5 or 6%. And then once we got them in there, instead of trying to sell them on our big package, we sold them on, this foot in the door offer. And our conversion rate probably from that point forward, once we got those pieces in place, was somewhere in the 30 to 35%. We just had we were inundated and, literally just overwhelmed with the amount of business that we were doing. So, the ability for us to move away from the day-to-day fulfillment side and get more into, working, what I always say is working on my business as opposed to in my business. So I was spending more time on the strategy side. How are we going to grow this thing? How are we going to scale it out? As opposed to being in the day-to-day minutia. There's different tiers of people within the group, from, in the tens of millions to the $1 million range. So there's always something to learn in the way that you guys structure the groups and keep people kind of grouped into, logical groupings based on their needs. I think makes a lot of sense as opposed to just throwing everybody into the pond. You can always pop in there. There are some times where Joe and I are having discussions and we're like, well, let's see if anybody's got that going on in the group, and just see. So it's just kind of like this endless resource of information that, you can always pull from, which, that's what, a lot of the value is.